on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So I would love to know if you guys are getting that. I am seeing YouTube. YouTube is live now. So first and foremost, it's been a while since I've done a live. I really just felt like doing it. I was in the middle of recording a video and I just felt compelled to do one of these live videos. So at the minimum, if you are watching this from YouTube, please let me know, like leave me a comment, do whatever. But today I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I've been noticing across the board when it comes to some e-commerce companies that my business partner and I have been taking a look at. Some of these ones that I think is very interesting because it's some of the same things. And this is going to be, so basically for the next however long I decide to go, I'm going to be talking about what I've noticed. And this is going to be really good for beginners and for people who are more advanced. But I'm going to start with the beginner side. Then we're going to work our way up into the more advanced. So for the beginners, let me change this. Ecom Learner's Guide. Okay, that's what it's going to be. Yes, because this is going to be something where e-commerce is an industry that I love and I hold dear. It's a industry that got me out of a job over 4 years ago now, so that's incredible. But I also want to dispel some myths. So I was on a podcast not too long ago. I was on a podcast about 2 weeks ago, going on 2 weeks. And this gentleman was incredible. He works with brands that are doing 20 million and above. And we had a really great conversation around e-commerce. And why do we believe that, or why do I believe that so many people get into e-commerce and treat it as if it's a part-time job, or they don't even treat it like it's a job. They just treat it that if you build it, they will come. So one of the biggest misconceptions with e-commerce is the mindset of it's a laptop lifestyle. So yes, absolutely, it is a laptop lifestyle where you can run your entire business off of a laptop from wherever you want to be in the world. I have done that successfully for the last 4 years. I mean, success is what you want to make it. But I have not gone back to a job in the last 4 years, so I won't count that as success. But what I mean by it is I have traveled around the country and been able to work and grow my business on a laptop. You can also do that with a lot of other businesses, a lot of other business models. Consulting, you can pretty much do that from anywhere in the world. You can pretty much do this same thing with coaching. You can do the same thing with quite a few different industries. So it's not just e-commerce, but e-commerce is the one that I've noticed that a lot of people will look at it and they'll say, well, if I build a Shopify store, if I do some kind of drop shipping from Amazon onto Facebook Marketplace, I'll make $1 zillion and I'll be free forever. And unfortunately, that's just not the truth. And so I wanted to come for that first. If you're somebody who you're just starting out in your e-commerce journey, or you're someone who is thinking about getting into e-commerce, be very aware that if this is where you want to be, two things is, one, you're going to have to actually dive in, learn the skills, and stay here. That's number two. Stay in the game. Stay consistent. So number one, just learning. You're going to have to learn the skills. If you are right now, you are working in a sheet metal factory and you want to do e-commerce full time, and you've watched some YouTube videos, you've done your research, great. And what I would strongly encourage before you do something like I had the unfortunate encounter with someone about 1.5 years ago where they took their entire life savings, about $5,000, put it into inventory that they couldn't sell. The only person who had bought anything was their mother. And that really hurts me because I don't want people to have this misconception and this misunderstanding coming into it that it's going to be easy or that you've done all the research that you need. For me personally, I look at it as if you come in and you've spent a good amount of time watching YouTube videos, figuring out what kind of supplier you're going to use, figuring out what kind of product you're going to use, go find anyone that you deem to be semi-successful, where they've made a decent amount of money selling stuff online, preferably physical products and not just digital. But if they've been selling physical products online successfully, then come to them and just say, hey, can I pay you for an hour of your time? Can I give you $200? And you sit with me for an hour, you look through my entire strategy of how I'm going to launch this thing, and you let me know if you think it'll work or if it won't, before I spend $5,000 of my entire life savings. Because if that would have happened, if this person would have reached out to someone, let's say it was me or anyone else, that we could have come in and looked at their business as a whole, we could have told them, hey, no, that is not a great product for this industry. That's not a great strategy. And here's why. And here's what I would do instead. I'm very much a proponent of, if you've got the faith to go all in, go all in. But if you're going to work part-time, if you're going to work full-time work a full-time job and you want to run this business on the side, the thing you have to understand is like, how much time are you actually going to put into it? And it cannot be like 4 hours a week. That's 4 hours a week is not going to get you there. Or if it does, it's going to take you an extremely long amount of time before you ever see a return on that the way that you want to, the way that you want it to actually give you freedom. It's going to take a very, very long time. You got to put hours into it. But also you have to know how to use your capital. So if you're using your $5,000 and you want to go spend that on one product, you have to understand that industry really, really well. I would not suggest that. I would not suggest that you take your $5,000, put it into one product, and then hopefully it makes money. For me, there's so many different strategies. I won't be able to talk about them all today. Because, I mean, you could go Amazon, like this gentleman went all in on Amazon, which is fine. But when you go all in on Amazon, if you are not known or if you're not on the same listing then as a product that's already doing well, you're not going to get that much traffic. So that's a big misconception with Amazon. People think that if I just put it on, if I have a product and I put it on Amazon's website, that people are just going to buy it. That's not the truth. I've talked about this in the past. If that is how you're looking at Amazon, then do arbitrage, do retail arbitrage, where you go buy products that are already winning and then you flip them. So let's say that it's some kind of shampoo and you're ungated for it. You found a great deal where you can get 10 of them for $10. They typically sell for $20 a piece. Now you've got 10 of them for $10. You've put them onto Amazon. You're on the same listing as the brand because the brand allows that. There's a few other people. You can do it that way and make sales quickly because people are already looking for that. But they're looking for that brand. They're looking for that shampoo. But if you're having like a puzzle feeder for a dog, and people are looking for puzzle feeders and you're 10 pages deep, the first page is where most of the sales are going to be. So if you're not on that first page, it's not going to make a huge difference. You have to figure out a way to get on the first page. So the big thing is like, if you're not on those listings, you're not going to make easy sales. So my thing is that why would you spend all of that money why would you spend $5,000 without the right strategy? So one big thing that people always think is like the silver bullet, whether this is for a Shopify brand or it's an Amazon brand, is just running paid marketing. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do PPC on Amazon to boost my listing, and then I'm going to make a bunch of money. Or I'm going to run a bunch of Facebook ads to my store, and it's going to do great. And there are instances that works, but at what cost? And what I mean by that is there's people that get thousands of people to their website. I see this all the time, that they get thousands of people to their website and their bounce rate is over 85%. So that means that if 100 people showed up, 85 of them left without doing anything. So you don't want that. And the same thing when it comes to your Amazon listing is that if you don't have it optimized, people aren't going to buy. And then also when it comes to Amazon, and then I'm going to leave Amazon there, is with your strategy is having it dialed in when it comes to keywords. If you have your keywords really dialed in, then it'll make your life much easier. But now switching to where my heart is, which is on the Shopify side, these are the brands that we work with, is on the Shopify side, same thing, is when you build, here's the thing I would do before you build anything, is go and learn. I said this earlier when it came to Amazon, but I'm saying this now just in general for e-commerce, is go learn the skills that you need. So I talked about the sheet metal guy. If you're doing research, you're looking at the stuff, great. But you need to get specific. You need to go watch YouTube videos on how to build a Shopify store really, really well, how to do SEO, to at least basic, like just do basic SEO. And then probably one that I think gets overlooked a lot is like how to do basic photography. If you're going to go spend your life savings on a product and then you get it and you're using the pictures that the supplier gave you, those pictures are going to be used for everyone who gets that same product. So you have to take, and that's the thing, is like you can do that with your phone now. You can take really good pictures with just your phone. So use your phone, take high quality pictures, the best that you can, and then use those as your listing pictures. Using those as your listing pictures is going to greatly boost your overall look and feel of it. Now, what I mean by that is like not taking a shirt and laying it on the floor and taking a picture. Like if you can have your friend model it, or you can have someone take a picture of you modeling it, it doesn't really matter. Like just if it's apparel, you model it. If it is physical products, if it's like a chair, find a way to make the background look like you have it set up. Like find a way to get better lighting or make these pictures look good, because this is going to set you apart from everyone else. Now, once you have the skills, like what I would say is if you're going to spend $5,000 on your that's your life savings, is taking some of that money and investing in courses, consultants, investing in anything. I'm a mastermind, like, because those things, I mean, we have spent over $100,000, I would say at this point, on coaching, on consulting, on masterminds, on events. And I would say that there's a lot of things I'm just like, oh man, I could have used that $15,000 better somewhere else. And those things, there was instrumental things that happened there. There was networking that we made there, people that we met there. There was instances of just gaining one piece of knowledge that has been with me for the last 5 years. So I would just say that if you invest in yourself as you're learning these skills, you're learning the right mindset to have going into it, is what you're going to need to really start. Now, once you build your Shopify store, once you spend your $40 and you start building out your Shopify store, doing, like I said, but also just, then I'm going to get very practical here for a moment, is having a really strong anchor right at the top. So, or like right above the fold. So like the first thing that you see on the page, having a really good photo of the product, and then having just like one really good tagline basically. And once you have that really good tag, that picture, then as you scroll down, if you have credibility pieces, then use those. If you don't, which if you're in the beginning, you won't. For my advanced people, is good picture, good anchor text, or good tagline, having your credibility pieces. So if that means you've been in Forbes, you've been in Vice magazine, you've been in Times magazine, you like whatever your product has been in, whatever you've been in, put it there. Going down is having the unique story. So what makes your product different? What makes you different? When you are looking at it, if it's like we have high quality chairs, it's like, okay, so does everyone else. Why is your chair different? It's the thing that made Titan. I think that's the name of the brand. There was a brand that got big, especially in 2020. And what they did was their gaming chair. It's the same as this chair. This chair is not a gaming chair. It was a computer chair. All they did was just like add a little head pillow, add a lumbar support pillow, and they marketed it towards gaming, towards gamers, towards gaming. So because they marketed it that way, that made them stand out. Hey, we're a chair by gamers for gamers, or we're a chair for gamers by gamers. And now it's like the story is we're using computer chairs, we're using our kitchen table chairs, and like our backs would always hurt, our necks would hurt. So we decided to come up with something new. We decided to come up with something different, and it's this. They just took a normal computer chair and added 2 pillows in the beginning. Like they have high-end ones now where it's like you can lean back and it does all this stuff. It's like a recliner. But their staple was a normal computer chair with a pillow and a lumbar support pillow. So, but their story is different. Thinking about what makes you different. If you're afraid of using your face, that's okay. But I would still highly suggest that you use your face. That way, people can resonate with you. They can connect with you, your story, who you are, and that makes a big difference. So having that, and then as you're scrolling down, just like having your collections, like having a couple different collections of where you want people to go and what you think is going to be best. Then from there, you would have like a little review plugin for people who do reviews. In the beginning too, if you're brand new, having like, if you can, give a couple of those away and give it to friends and family, and then have them go and give you 5-star reviews. That way it's on the page. Next is for my more advanced people. When I think of credibility pieces, there's brands I've looked at, brands that we've worked with, that they have like celebrity endorsement, and those things are hidden. Make those things front and center. So if you've worked with like big name people, if you're a survival pack person, like you've made these survival packs, and Bear Grylls has used it in whatever is the show that he had, like put that on there. Hey, Bear Grylls used our pack to live an extra 2 days in this episode. Like now people can say, oh, that's an authority piece. It gives you credibility and authority. So that's just some things. So I think I'll probably will end it off here, but that's just a few of the ways that if you're a beginner to approach it, mindset, skill set. If you're more advanced, is getting a little bit more technical, spending a little bit more time on figuring out what makes you different, and then creating and crafting that story, and then putting that in a place where people can see it so it makes your store stand apart. Then just like right at the top, having a really nice picture, really good anchor text, what makes you different, like why are you different than any other brand, like just an anchor of who you are, picture of who you are. Then having those credibility pieces, authority pieces, times Forbes, Entrepreneur, whatever, Men's Magazine, whatever those things are, have them there. If you have celebrity endorsement, if you have big time influencer endorsement, just put those influencers, like pictures of them a little bit further down. If they have products, I saw a brand that does this pretty well, where they have like a row of celebrities, their names, and then what they wore. You click on the celebrity's face, takes you directly to the listing. Really smart. So doing that, and then a little further down, they had their story, why they started, who they are. If you are more advanced, do those things. That's just your homepage. We're not even getting into collections. We're not even getting into product pages. We're not getting into the About Us pages. We're not talking about your email follow-ups. We're not talking about your SMS. Just those things will greatly improve the way that people approach and perceive your brand. So I hope that helps somebody today. I don't think I had really anyone show up to the live. That's perfectly fine. I went just randomly off the cuff. If you are catching this afterwards, I'm going to leave it up, then let me know down in the comments if this helped you, or if there's something else that you would like for me to talk about. So if there's something else along these lines that you would like to hear about, or you have a very specific question, let me know down in the comments. I will answer, most likely. And then if it's something very complex, and maybe your question will be my next live. So thank you guys again for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you again. Be on the lookout. This Tuesday should be another episode going live of my podcast. And if you haven't already, go back and watch the one from last week with Damien. Damien is an amazing guy. That episode is incredible. Go watch that. Go support that one, and look forward for the one on Tuesday. It's going to be great. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next episode.